please feel free to ask, interrupt me. I don't mind, I promise. And with that, so y'all can actually see my face. Hi, everybody. What's up? So tonight I wanted to talk to y'all about how to build this business in an hour, because I know most of you work full time. Y'all have other obligations, other jobs, and y'all are busy. So I totally understand that, and I totally get it. But it's totally doable to do this and work other jobs, have other obligations like your family. Some of you are moms. I don't understand that because I'm not a mom, but I do know that there are a lot of successful mommy coaches out there. So this is totally doable to do within an hour of your day. Obviously, the more time you put in, the more you'll get out of it. But I started doing this when I had 2 other jobs and a social life and a boyfriend and a family and all this other stuff going on. And I made it work because I knew what could come from it. And now I'm able to do it full time, but it's because I put in the effort and I took the time to do it when I didn't really have the time. So I wanted to talk to y'all about that tonight because I feel like a lot of people struggle with that. That's like, well, it is an excuse, I guess. I was gonna say, I get a lot of my coaches saying, like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to do this. I don't have time, to put into it. And that's really what it is. It's an excuse. And I totally understand that people are busy. But if you want it, it's just like your fitness journey. If you want to do this, you're going to find a way to do it, or you're just going to make an excuse. And I don't want to offend anyone. Like, I don't want people getting upset that I'm saying that. It's just, that's the reality of it. I know that there are coaches out there that literally wake up, go to work, come home, have time with their kids, and go to bed. Or have other obligations. And I'm not saying like that you're making that up, or that you don't, that you have all this free time and you're not using it. But there are ways that you can break up this hour, this power hour, as I like to call it, and as a lot of other coaches like to call it, throughout your day to where you can still be successful in this business. And being successful, it all depends on your goals. Like, I wanted to quit my job. I didn't want to be doing what I was doing. That might not be your goal, and that's perfectly fine. But if that's your goal, if you want, being successful to you is completely different than what it looks like to me. So if being successful to you is getting your Shakeology covered, then that's fine. If being successful to you is being a top 10 coach, then that's fine too. You have to first make a goal at what you want out of this business. Because if it isn't quitting your job, that's okay. That doesn't mean that you're not successful in it. If it doesn't mean, that you want to be a top 10 coach, that's okay too. I don't really want to be a top 10 coach. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want that. I want more freedom in my life than constantly Beachbody 24/7. And I feel like as a top 10 coach, that's what you have to do. If you're a top 10 coach, you have to be constant Beachbody, and I don't want that. So, just decide, number one, is where you want this business to go. And then you decide how much time you want to put into it. But it doesn't matter what you want to do. Within an hour, you can get it done. So number one is make that goal. Number 2 is, which I have a hard time doing, is prioritizing my time. So if y'all haven't read or haven't done Chalene Johnson's 30-Day Push book, I actually just ordered this the other day, or like a month ago, and I still haven't done it. But I've been looking at it, and what she says is make like 10 things that take up your time. So list 10 things: your family, work, house chores, TV, whatever it might be that you use majority of your time for, and list them on a paper, and then list them 1 through 10. 1 being like the most important, or 1 being the thing that takes up most of your time, and then going down from there. And then list them on another separate paper of what's more important. Like, what's the most important thing? Is spending time with your family the most important thing? And list that 1 through 10. And then compare them and see what you're doing. If you say that TV is taking up, is number 5 on your list, and it's like the least important, then you should probably cut out TV. You know, if spending time with your family is most important and you're not doing that, then you need to reschedule, make your schedule to where you are spending more time with your family. And this business can give that to you. But it's going to take a little sacrificing in the beginning to be able to do that in the end. So just know that. As far as schedules go, so this is what I did when I first started. Because now everyone looks at me and they're like, well, you do this full time, so you have all the time in the world. That's not necessarily true, number one, because I have a life and I do other things besides Beachbody. But what I started doing was prioritizing my time. So I no longer, I'm not going to lie, I do watch Netflix sometimes at night before I go to bed. But I used to like binge watch Netflix, y'all. Like Grey's Anatomy is my jam. And I would like binge watch episodes, like old episodes that I've seen like 5 times. I'd be like, oh, I don't rewatch this season. Like, no, I don't need to rewatch the season. That takes up like 3 hours out of my night. Like, that's not necessary. So I cut it out. I cut out scrolling through Facebook. Like, I don't know if y'all know about the, I don't know what it's called. Like, let me see what it's called because I'm going to tell you the wrong thing. It's like Facebook Eradicator. Has anyone heard of that? Okay, so what it is I'm going to actually show y'all because this has helped me so much with not scrolling through Facebook, because I feel like a lot of times it's all I do is if I get bored or I'm like trying to get work done, I always end up scrolling through Facebook. So what it is, I'm going to show you. It hides your news feed. So you can't see the news feed of like, you know, those, you know, when you're just like scrolling and you see that funny video of the dog and you watch it like 10 times. Yeah, that takes up like 15 minutes of your time. So what it is like no matter what, like I can reboot it, whatever, it's going to bring this up. And normally it's a different quote, whatever, inspirational quote. I can do all my other stuff. I can go to my page. I can go to my groups. I can check in there. But like, I'm not constantly scrolling. And all you do is if you have Google Chrome, to get to this, you have to, I believe you have to be on Google Chrome. And there's these 3 little lines. You just click that, go to more tools and then extensions. And it's going to bring you to a page. And at the bottom, it's going to say Newsfeed Eradicator. And then you can turn it on, enabled, disabled. And now when I go back, it's going to be my normal newsfeed. So that helps me a lot because I don't know if anyone else does this, but I like aimlessly catch myself like scrolling through people's feeds. And I don't do it all the time. It's not like I constantly have it on there, but for my power hour or for, you know, the scheduled time that I set to work solely on Beachbody, I do that because I find that I get less tempted to like go see what Lindsay Lou is doing, you know, for her birthday, or whatever. So that's really, really, really helpful with, you know, not scrolling through Facebook. Another thing that I found that I was doing was just like laying in bed, not doing anything. And that, you know, I just started being more intentional with my time. So I got a planner, and I try and use it as much as possible. And I do like times, like I have, of course, I have like times like set out, like this at 11 I have a dentist appointment and this is when I have a call, and you know I go and set times throughout my day so where there's no matter what, like this is what time I'm working on Beachbody from, you know, 10 in the morning to 11, no interrupted time, just Beachbody. And then if I have something else going on, then you know I schedule out my time, and that's what you need to do. So if you have a full-time job from 9 to 5 or from 6 to 5 or whenever you're scheduled to work, put that in a calendar. Like sit down and write out, I worked from this time to this time. If it takes you 30 minutes or an hour to get there, put that time into that schedule. And then the other times where you're free, like plug in your workouts, plug in your power hour. And if you can't sit down for a full hour, separate it. So that's what I used to have to do because I used to work at a retail wedding accessory store or whatever. I was a manager there. So I was there a lot, 40 hours a week. And I would get called in all the time because my boss had a kid and something would come up and whatever. So there were times where, you know, I was in the middle of doing stuff for Beachbody and she'd call me and say, hey, can you come in earlier? Can you come in now? Jackson's sick. So I would have to go in, but I would, you know, schedule out my time. So if I only got 15 minutes in the morning, okay, I only got 15 minutes to message people, to follow up with people, to make my posts. I schedule out a lot of my posts intentionally because I want to save time, and that saves me time. In the morning, it saves me, or throughout my week, it saves me time. I do it on Sundays for the most part. And it just, I don't have to worry about posting during the week. And I still do. I still post like random things when I can, but at least I don't have to worry about, you know, oh my God, I haven't posted anything. People are going to think I'm like in a ditch somewhere, right? So, you know, scheduling your posts is going to save you time. But sticking with a schedule is going to help you so much. And obviously things come up. I understand that. But if you can at least like have a schedule and then figure out if something comes up, like, okay, well, this got moved, so let me kind of rearrange the rest of my day. At least you have something to work off of, if that makes sense. So if you have to break up your morning, like if you PD in the morning on the way to work, listen to audio, listen to National Wake Up Calls. I've been audio listening while I take a bath. I do. I like play it while I take a shower where I can hear it really loud. Or I play it on the way to the grocery, or I play it in the car when I'm going to the store, or whatever. It takes me 10 minutes to get to the grocery, so that's 10 minutes of personal development. However long it takes you to get to work. Instead of listening to the radio or listening to nothing, listen to audio PD. Podcasts. If you don't want to do like audio books, listen to podcasts. Listen to things that, you know, are going to be good for you. And I like to do it in the morning, so I try my best. I'm not going to lie, I don't do it every morning, but I try my best to wake up and read PD or listen to PD right away, because it kind of gets my morning started. If you, and I think I shared this in Tribe Health, but I know if you're on Fleur to Fit, you have this in our planner. It's a weekly planner. It's 2 pages, this and this, but this is your business. Can y'all see this? Can everyone see this? Okay. So this is like what most coaches call it, a business activity tracker. This is a power hour, y'all, like literally laid out for you. So you can literally go in and you say, okay, invite at least 7 people to a challenge group. So that's following up with people, messaging people, you know, reaching out to people that have shown interest in the past. Write their name in, write down who you talk to. And then the next one's complete your workout and drink Shakeology. So when you do that, scratch it off. Like you can print these, or you can get them laminated, take a little dry erase marker and scratch it off. I have one in I like have this planner printed, the whole planner, but I don't necessarily scratch things off, but I go and like look at it and I write down what else I have to do for the day. So, you know, it's drink Shakeology, complete your workout, add at least 5 new people to your Facebook, go through your old friends, people that you haven't talked to in a while, see if you're friends with them on Facebook. I actually, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, I printed my entire list of Facebook friends because I'm going through them, which obviously I have the time right now to do, and I'm not saying to do that, but I'm going through them and see who I haven't connected with. There are people on here that I didn't even realize I was friends with on Facebook. But continuing to add people to your Facebook, people that went to college with you, people that are mutual friends with your friends that you know. I don't add like random people that I have no idea who they are. I just don't want to add random people to my Facebook page. But if they're like I'm in a sorority group that my sorority's alumni group, and they're obviously they were all in my sorority at my same school. So I went through and I would add a few of those people, even if I didn't necessarily have met them before. We're sorority sisters. They went to the UL, like I went to UL. We have some type of connection. So I added a few of them. Did everyone accept my friend request? I don't think so, probably not, but some of them did, and those are people that I can connect with. I've actually added coaches to my team from that page, from that group, and they're like rock star coaches. They're awesome. And one in particular, I never thought she would, we've never met in person. And she just knows, we just know the same people because we're in the same sorority. So adding people to your Facebook page, at least 10 to 15 minutes of personal development. Again, that can be done in the car. Answering emails or messages, following up with coaches or challengers. The reason why I like this little guide right here is because once you invite them, you have them on your list. So if you're physically writing them down or physically plugging them into some type of tracker, you can go back and follow up with them so you don't forget that they existed. You don't forget that you sent them a message. You know, it's on here, it's like review, coach breaking news in your online office. That to me is just checking in your online office. I check my online office every day. I don't care if I don't have anyone ordering for me or whatever. I still check it because I want to make sure my volume's good. I want to make sure if I have a return, you know, I can get someone to order, or I can order something to where it's not negative. You know, I'm just constantly checking it in case I get an order, or in case I get a lead, I can email them. Call, text, encourage someone you know, check in with your current challenge groups, promote upcoming groups, post at least 3 engaging posts on Facebook. Again, this can be scheduled out, y'all. If you're off on a Sunday, obviously it's your day off. You don't really want to be working. Take an hour out of your time to schedule posts. It literally takes an hour, and you can schedule all your posts for the whole week. Super easy, super simple to do. Then that way you don't even have to worry about it, like I said. And then it also has the team calls on here as well, on the National Wake Up Call. Again, I don't listen to, I've said this a bazillion times, I do not listen to the National Wake Up Call. I'm a horrible beach body coach. I don't listen to the National Wake Up Call at 10 a.m. What I do is I listen to it on my podcast on the way to the store, or when I'm walking my dog, or when I'm cleaning, or whatever, when I'm working out if I have to. But I skip through the first like 15, 20 minutes of it because that's all like recognition, and no offense to those people, but I don't really care to hear about their recognition. Like, I don't. I don't even care if I'm getting recognized. Like, I don't need to hear it. I just skip over all that. So that saves you time. But if you have some type of checklist that you can literally scratch off, plan that out. Like, plan out when you're going to get in your workout in. If you have to wake up 30 minutes earlier, wake up 30 minutes earlier and get in your workout. Do it in your pajamas. I don't care. You know, Shakeology, obviously you can drink on the way to work. That's not going to take up like a ton of time. You can do this within an hour. You can build a business. I did it, and I was working other jobs, and there were days where I couldn't do it. There were days where I didn't get to anything Beachbody. I didn't post about anything. I was busy doing something else. But then I show up the next day, and the more consistent you are with it, the more people are going to notice that you're doing it. And the more people are going to notice that they can come to you and ask you about it. Because if not, they're going to find someone that is consistent with it, and they're going to find someone that is showing up every day, and they're going to find someone that makes the time for it. I wouldn't pick a coach that didn't have the time for it. Like, if my coach was never posting about it when she started, I would not have reached out to her, right? Because obviously I wouldn't even know she did it if she wasn't posting about it. So I would have probably heard about it down the line from someone else and went through them because they were posting about it and they were sharing about it. So that's what you have to do. You have to make the time for it, but it can be done if you just split up your time. Again, if you can't do a whole hour ever, like if you can't break up 30 minutes here, 30 minutes here, 20 minutes. 20 minutes to make your post, or to follow up with people. If that's all you can do right now, that's fine. Like, give it whatever time you can, but make sure you're intentional with your time. Don't be wasting time on Netflix. Don't be wasting time scrolling through Facebook, or wasting time. You know, I wouldn't say it's a waste because you're still making connections, but I put a lot of effort and a lot of time into my challenge groups and my free groups. And my challenge groups are not wasted time. My challenge groups are people that paid me because they ordered a challenge pack through me. And you know, that's what they came to me for. But my free groups are free, and I put a ton of time into those. So I don't necessarily run them every month. I don't like right now I have this group that's been open for the last 3 months, and I'm not putting in as much effort because it's a free group and I've been running it for 3 months. I've sold a ton of challenge packs from it, and I've made a lot of connections, which is great, but I'm also not going to like pour my heart and soul into these groups when I have other people, you know, that are paying me to help them. And I'm not saying that like you can't do free groups and you can't help people without them paying you, because that's what it is about. But, you know, make sure you're just being intentional. Don't spend an hour with someone who already has a coach, or, you know, someone that is not going to buy from you, that has said like, no, I'm not going to buy, but can you answer all my messages and all my questions? Like, I get that every day, y'all. I get coaches from other teams messaging me. I get coaches from I don't even know where messaging me, and I don't mind helping people, but I can't spend, you know, or challengers from other coaches that say, oh, I'm in another challenge group with this coach and, you know, I need help. I'm like, not to be mean, but you're not my challenger. And I don't say that. I usually say it in a nicer way and just say, well, maybe you should ask your coach about it. But I found a lot of times when I first started and I first had all these people coming to me for help that I was spending so much time like worrying that people were going to think I was mean if I didn't message them right away, or even my challengers, I was like, oh my God, if they message me, I have to message them back right away. No, you don't. You're not there to be their 24/7 hour personal assistant or helper. You're there to help them and guide them. But that's what the challenge groups are for. If they have questions, and I've been telling all of my challengers this, if you have a question, ask it in the group, because someone else has the same question and they're all messaging me the same exact question. So I tell them, like, I'm not being mean. I just please ask in the group so that I can answer it in the group, or another coach can answer it in the group. And that way you're not getting all these messages with the same question or the same thing over and over again. And you'll still have people messaging you. But again, that takes up time. It takes up time that you could be saving if one person asks it and then they all see it in the group, right? You know, coach-wise, if you have coaches asking you questions, tell them. I don't mind my coaches asking me questions at all. I really don't. But, you know, if they're asking you the same questions, like, what is Success Club, over and over again, okay, look, here's the FAQ. It's a great resource. Tell them to go to the FAQ and tell them to figure it out. It's not hard. I learned all this stuff on my own. And I don't want y'all thinking I'm saying, like, don't give your coaches time. Don't give your challengers time. But 80% of your business, if growing your business, should be on you growing your business. 80% of your time should be you growing your business as far as Beachbody goes. You growing your business. 20% should be focused on your team and helping them grow their business. So obviously you want to help your team, but like you still need to focus on you, and you still need to focus on your time and your challengers and no one else's team and no one else's challengers and that type of thing. So just remember that once y'all start getting, because I know a few of you are like brand new, so once you start getting challengers, just know that you don't have to be there 24/7. They'll be okay. They'll figure it out. If it's a question that has like already been stated in our challenge groups, I just don't even answer. I just don't message them back. And eventually they're like, oh my God, girl, I just saw it in the challenge group. Sorry, I messaged you. Totally fine, right? I mean, I'm not being mean, but if the answer is in front of them, I don't need to message them back, you know, right away if I have something else going on. I am very particular about my schedule now. I am like if I set a schedule, I'm sticking to it. And that's because I'm trying to be more intentional with my challengers and with my time and with my everything, with my life. So if y'all don't use a BAT or a schedule, get one. Go through it. Who actually uses a tracker? Does anyone in this group right now use a tracker? Leslie, uses a tracker. Is that it? Yeah. So use one. I promise you, y'all. I promise you. If you need the one that I have, like, take it. I don't care. I think I posted it in the. I know it's posted in my team page. Y'all have access to that, but I believe I posted it in Tribe Health as well, because I usually post everything in Tribe Health as well as my team page. So if you're not using one, use one. And I promise you, like, as you scratch it off, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this isn't hard. And like, this is easy to do. This is like, you feel like accomplished because you're actually like getting stuff done. And then if you have other stuff, add it to your tracker. If you have something else you want to keep track of, add it to your tracker. Create your own on Excel. Whatever you have to do, whatever fits you, make it happen. Does that help anyone? If you have questions about anything. And I know I've talked about Postcron before, which is great. Elaine has been using Postcron, postcron.com. Super easy to use to schedule all your posts. So if you are running challenge groups, like, I don't necessarily schedule all my posts for my challenge groups, but in the morning they have to share, I always share a quote, and they have to share their selfie underneath. So all of my quotes are already, for the whole 21 days, are already scheduled. So it pops up automatically. They know that they have to post their study selfies. And then I'll go in during the day when I can and check in and post other things, but at least that's posted, and I don't have to worry about going in and waking up a certain time, and if I forget to do it, you know, then it's not up there. I don't have to worry about any of that. I schedule my posts every Sunday for my challenge groups. Well, my challenge groups, I usually schedule them whenever I start them, but if you want, you can do it every Sunday for your challenge groups, for your regular page. If you have a like page, schedule your posts through your like page. It saves so much time, I promise. And another thing about that is don't focus so much on, I want to word this the right way. Don't like overthink your post. I do it all the time. I do. It will take me like 20 minutes to schedule one post, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, don't overcomplicate things. Literally, think what you want to say it, and post it. Don't like sit there and be like, does that sound right? Are people gonna think this is weird? Whatever. Just post it. Who cares? Obviously, don't post like 20 million grammar. I obviously can't speak. Grammatical errors. That's the word I wanted to use. Don't post like a ton of like mishmash stuff where it really doesn't make sense, but don't like overthink things. Just post it. Just share what you're doing. Share your journey. Share things that make you laugh. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say, because I feel like a lot of people are struggling with balancing business life, coach life, family life, and it can be done. There are top coaches that are moms and full-time nurses and lawyers and all these other things. So it can be done. It's just you have to figure out how much time you want to put into it. And then once you figure that out, set a schedule for it and stick to the schedule. Just stick to it. Just stick to it, and you'll notice that those small daily 15 minutes a day towards your business, and then once 15 minutes comes, if you can add in another 20 minutes a day, you can add in another 5 here and there, 30 minutes a day, like whatever it needs to be, you'll notice that the more consistent you are with it, and the more I don't want to keep saying more time, because you don't need more time. You just need to be consistent with the time that you're putting into it, if that makes sense. So that's really it. Anyone have questions about anything? No? Yes, no, maybe so. It doesn't have to be about time. You have questions about anything else? Anything? Becky, Leslie, Sarah?
I don't have any questions. I was just going to say that I've started using Postcron, and I really like it.
Yes, it's super helpful, and it's easy. I don't know if anyone else has tried like other, it's called like post apps or whatever. It's not an app, but websites. Like I've tried Hootsuite, and I don't understand Hootsuite at all. Postcron to me has been like the easiest thing, and you don't have to pay for it. They have like I pay for it because I use it in so many groups. But you don't have to pay for it. I think you can schedule up to 10 posts at one time for free. So that includes everything. Like if you want to schedule 10 posts in your challenge group, then that's all you have, unless you want to pay for I pay $10 a month for it.
I use Hootsuite, Jessie. Sorry, I'm nursing. That's why I'm not
fine.
My whole self. I didn't think y'all wanted to see my boobs. Anyway, just saying. I use Hootsuite, and I love it. Like, I don't know, it does good for me.
Well, good. Yeah, I mean, whatever you have to use. Hootsuite, Postcron.
But yeah, it's definitely a time saver. I mean, I've been using it for like the past couple months now, and I'm running 3 groups a month. So it's great. It is going.
That's what I'm doing too. I mean, my free group I'm running, and that's the thing. I schedule and I post for there, and I don't, like I said, I'm not putting a ton of time and effort into my free group right now. But I am still posting. I'm still showing up in there. Not every day, but I'll post randomly in there just so they know that I'm still alive and whatever. And what I've been doing too is if I have a good post, whether or not it's on my like page or my regular page, I share it into that group. Because a lot of those people in that group, I have like 400 something people in that group. They're not coaches. They're not even challengers. But you know, the more I'm posting about transformations, or like I shared my cousin Ashley's transformation today in that page, and I had a few people message me just like, oh my God, she looks amazing. Now, have they bought from me? No, not yet, and they might not. But it's still me showing up, and it's me seeing my posts. You know, and if you're not running your own challenge groups right now, totally fine. Because I know a few of you, like I said, are newer. Just keep posting what you're posting. And then if you need me to help you, like once you start running your own groups, if you need me to show you Postcron, like it's super easy to use, I promise. If I can figure it out, I feel like anyone can figure it out. It's like the easiest thing to do. And then if you have a like page, you all know how to schedule your posts on your like page. But again, if you don't have time for a like page, don't get a like page. Focus on your regular page. Share your journey through your regular page. Don't focus on getting a like page and worrying about a like page and a personal page and Instagram, and like pick one thing and stick to it if that's what you need to do, because that saves time. Like I'm pretty much posting on my like page now. That's also because I have more people over there. Any questions? Katie?
Sorry, I was posting. I just want to add, hold on. Easton, please stop. You're going to break my house. Sorry. I just want to add that, like, ever since I, like, got started back up, and you and I talked about me really kind of doing what you said and sitting down and figure out where I could fill in some time. And, I mean, I work full-time, and my husband works offshore for 2 weeks at a time, and so I have the monster by myself. And so I've had to really prioritize and figure out where I could have that at a time. So I don't watch TV at night anymore. I don't. I mean, the TV's going right now. He's watching a movie. When he goes to bed, the TV goes off, and I work for 2 to 3 hours sometimes just to get it done so that I don't work at all on the weekends. So I think that you're right about really figuring out what you can cut out and what's not as important as this.
Yeah. And like Katie said, like her husband is gone for a lot. If your husband is around and, you know, able to be around, ask him to take care of something. And I know I don't have a husband, so I can't really give you marriage advice or anything like that. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying, if you can ask him, like, hey, babe, can you do the dishes tonight so I can go focus 10 minutes towards this business? Like, if it's important to you, tell him about it. You know, ask him for help. I know it takes some effort to make the time, but I promise you, once you make the time and once you see the success in it, it gives you more freedom to be able to do those things. So, you know, just take the time or make the time. And it's just, like I said, it's just like your fitness journey. I say this all the time to my challengers that give me the excuse of I don't have time. We all say it. You have to make time for it. You have to make time for yourself, right? So if that takes you, like Katie said, turning off the TV when your kids go to bed, or, you know, stop scrolling through Facebook, that eradicator thing has like helped me. I do it during the day because I scroll like randomly, and then I'm like, wait, I saw that like 20 minutes ago. Why am I looking at the same stuff? Like, you know, I don't know if anyone else does that. I do it. So it helps if you're on your computer, instead of scrolling through Facebook, you get to just focus on what you want to do. So print up a tracker, make a tracker, use the tracker that I have in there. And I think there's another one in Tribe Health. I'm sure there is, in the file section. If y'all don't want to use the one that I have, if there's something else you want to add to it or whatever, make your own. Don't really care. But if you go and you like literally scratch off what you're doing, it will make you feel so much more accomplished, and it will actually show you what you're doing. So if there are things that you're not scratching off during the day that you're like, oh, I should probably be doing that. Like reading personal development, where can I fit that in? Is it me bringing my kids to school in the morning? Whatever. One other thing that I'm doing, not really, it doesn't have to do with time, but just so you'll know, and I've showed this on a few other calls, but just so you'll know, I have like a goal board that I keep up right next to my desk. So I write like when I have Success Club on here, personal sponsored coaches hitting Success Club, sign new coaches, and then I'm building my mom and dad. So I scratch off when I'm doing that, like once I do those things. So I look at this every day. So my goal is Success Club 20. So I scratch off as the time goes throughout the month what I'm hitting. So right now I'm at Success Club 4. So I scratch that off, and then tomorrow when I get Success Club 6, I scratch that off. it just helps me like visualize. Like, I'm a visual learner. I don't know if anyone else is a visual learner, but I am a very visual learner. So those things, like seeing it, like I know I need to get to, you know, this, I need to get to Success Club 10 probably by next week. So I'm going to be messaging more people. So I'm going to focus my time. This helps me focus my time more on what is important to me in my business right now. You know what I mean? So like this week, I'm literally focusing on Success Club 10. I haven't been messaging anyone about challenge groups. I've been focusing on growing my mom and my dad to Diamond because I'm pushing for 2-star by Thursday. So that's what my focus has been on. I'm not worried about anything else right now, but it's because I'm looking at this board and I'm saying, okay, well, I know I need to sign this many coaches by Wednesday night, so let me push for that. You know, and that's where my time is going right now. After Thursday, I'll be going back to messaging people about challenge groups and going back to signing more coaches under me. So just set goals for your month, set goals for your time, and it will help you strategize a lot more of what you want out of the business and what you can put your time towards. Does that help anyone? I hope it does. I don't know, but I hope it does. Sarah, are you okay down there?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Does anyone have any questions about anything? No? Okay. Next week we have a guest coach coming to talk. Who is it? I think it's Amber. This girl Amber is like, I'm gonna stop